Okay, you're here because, let's face it, keeping up with everything is tough. We try to cut through that.
Yeah, help you get informed, but efficiently.
Exactly. So today, we're zeroing in on that jailbreak down in New Orleans. Pretty recent news.
Right, and we will also touch on, how news language itself grabs us, even if we don't have specific quotes to really tear apart today from, say, Tangled Quotes Project folks.
Okay.
The main source for the jailbreak facts, that's coming from a USA Today report. So the plan is understand what happened in New Orleans, the key facts, and maybe think a little about how news gets communicated.
Right, so New Orleans, 10 inmates. That's a significant number. How on earth did they manage that?
It sounds pretty wild based on the report. This happened around 1 a.m. May 16th.
Okay.
And apparently they got through a defective cell door first. But then, get this, they actually ripped a whole toilet and sink unit off the wall.
Wait, the entire unit off the wall?
Yeah, the whole thing. That created the hole they used to get out.
Wow. I mean, you'd assume jail security would catch that. A defective door. A removable toilet.
It definitely makes you wonder about the facility itself, the actual infrastructure.
Seriously.
And, Sheriff Susan Hudson's comments add a whole other layer. She actually mentioned possible inside help.
Inside help?
Yeah. Said, we have indication that these detainees received assistance from individuals inside of our department. Even mentioned a jail employee apparently saw the escape happening on camera and just didn't report it.
Okay, hold on. Saw it and did nothing. That's huge.
It suggests maybe it's not just about crumbling walls.
Right. And we're not talking about minor offenders here. Some of these guys were facing murder charges.
Exactly. Which really amps up the urgency to get them back. You saw Governor Landry's post.
Oh, yeah. Very direct. 3 down, 7 to go. And we are not slowing down. Lug of them a pee.
Yep. Pretty standard, forceful language for that kind of situation. Very clear message.
And they did get some back quickly, right?
They did. By the end of that same night, actually, Kendall Miles, Robert Moody, and Tina and Dennis were back in custody. So a fast response for those 3.
Okay, 3 down. But that's still 7 others. Still out there.
Still 7 unaccounted for, as of the report.
Yep.
Corey Boyd, Leo Tate, Jermaine Donald, Derek Groves, Lenton Van Buren, Antoine T. Massey, and Gary C. Price.
That's a long list still.
It is. And that concern the sheriff raised about inside help, that's really significant.
It absolutely is. It points to something potentially broken within the system there, doesn't it?
Potentially. I mean, a staff member allegedly witnessing it and doing nothing. That's a major red flag.
Yeah, a massive breakdown in protocol, you'd have to say. So are they offering anything to get information?
There's a reward out. Up to $7,000 for info that leads to an arrest.
Okay, $7,000 might get someone talking.
Maybe. Now, shifting gears just slightly, thinking about that tangled quotes idea, even without specific quotes from this incident to analyze today,
Right.
you can see how certain phrases, like Governor Landry's tweet, just sort of crystallize the situation.
No.
Right? It's concise, it's memorable.
Totally. It's like a soundbite that captures the whole mood, the urgency, the determination.
Exactly. And that's often how news works, isn't it? These powerful little snippets, whether from officials or, sometimes victims, they really frame how we understand complex events. They stick.
Yeah, they really do. Okay, so let's recap. We've got this major jailbreak in New Orleans. 10 escaped, 3 recaptured pretty quickly, but 7 still missing.
Right. And the escape method itself was, well, unexpected, ripping a toilet out.
Pretty wild. And then there's this really serious question hanging over it all about potential inside help.
Yeah, and that's maybe the most fascinating part here.
Right.
You got the physical security, the walls, the doors, which clearly had issues.
Obviously.
But then you have the human element, potential assistance, alleged negligence. That seems like a huge factor.
It really highlights how, even in places you think are totally locked down, controlled environments, things can go wrong, unexpectedly wrong. This whole thing, it really makes you think, doesn't it? About, the constant challenge of just maintaining security, maintaining order, and how vulnerabilities can pop up where you least expect them. What does it say about those systems?
It's definitely something to chew on. The interplay between structure and human action or inaction. Worth keeping an eye on how this develops.
Sure. So keep watching. Keep asking questions about the stories you hear.
Absolutely. Stay curious, stay critical.